Before jumping to creating UV, we are going to projection material on object in Cinema 4D. In Cinema 4D, you can use and project and create your material on the object without creating a UV. For example, I create a simple material and assign to, for example, this cube. Don't forget to assign this cube. For creating material, as I said before, you can double click to material editor. Don't forget, I'm in standard renderer because it's easier to explain. In a color, you can insert a simple texture. I'll load an image. For creating your image, are introducing you a AI system that you can create your own texture without exploring the internet and face to copyrights. Go to PromeAI. Here is a PromeAI. I give a link to description to click on that and come here and log in. It's free at the first, and if you want, you can go to buy standard or pro version to access all tools. You have to spend the coin here for creating your and using the AI tools, and you can buy coins and you can subscription monthly if you want. If you go, you can come to AI tools. I explained them before in a playlist. You can refer to our playlist that I give to the link to the description. And in this case, I want to create a pattern, a tile-level pattern with a pattern designer. Here you can see other people's create these tile-level interesting images, or you can remix them if you want. For example, you can remix some of them. For example, this. You can click on that and you can remix them. It means it goes to your style. I will be explaining before. You can refer to that, and you can describe more about this. For example, red flower. Let's generate based on this style my own three images. And you don't need to go to the internet and got lots of copyright issues. You can just create your prompt based on this style. You can create your own images like this. Nice. Or you can come here and change the style. You can, for example, if you need a wooden, or for example some of these bricks, yes, for example like this, and based on this style you don't need to type any prompt, just create your new texture based on this style. It has a lot of interesting tool that you can use, but maybe you can edit that again. You can, if you need the higher resolution, you can go to the HD upper scale or a lot of other things. Let's see what happened. Yeah, you can see based on that style, it's created new images for you. For example, on this, you can come here and download it. Simply, you can download that and you can use in your project. Nice. That's it. Or you can, if you need, for example, you can come here and, for example, wood, carpet, something like this if you want, or wood, marble. You can create a lot of texture based on these styles. For example, something like this, and I write some let's type many cracks. Just generate 2 of them. For example, based on this wooden style, many cracks on it. You can tell this AI more, or you can enhance it. You can see based on that, it's created many cracks to this wooden style. Nice, I like it. And you can go to the upper scale if you need more quality, high resolution images. And that's it. And you can use it in your project. Okay, now we create a texture in a PromeAI and we are assigning it to our texture. Okay, this is our project file. For example, we create these two images. For example, this, you can drag and drop it on texture. No, we don't want to create. You can see it automatically projected in objects, but with lots of problem. In any faces, we have a difference. You can see we have stretched this materials here. Okay, if you click on material tag here, the material tag here, we have different tabs here. Coordination, you can scale, rotate, and other things based on material. Reach that. It's this basic. You can change the name of that material. Which layer do you want to use in a layer manager? I explained it before. And the tag. If you open the material, you can see the color base, reflectance, all of these channels that you assign here. And we don't now need to that. Select that. And the selection, the first things you can assign in a Cinema 4D a special polygon to a special selection. For example, if we create a new material and make it completely red and assign to cube, the material that are in the right are assigning to object. But if you want to assign the material to specific polygons, you can go to the cube and select a polygon. For example, I want to assign this red color to this polygon. Go to the select and you have to store selection. You can see it's a selection store here, and we can use it in all of the base of the Cinema 4D. For example, go to this material that you cannot see because the red material is about that, and we want to tell material, okay, use that selection, and you can see oh, I think I have to assign this selection to this material. Sorry for that. Material number 1. You can use this selection, and you can see it's bring this material. You can make it change, and you can see this is all about the priority of your selection. The changing the selection are not important. Just that. Okay, go to the selection and you can clear that with deleting that, or you can right click and reset and clear. Now you can see it's nice. Make the selection the top, and with this selection object tells, okay, just assign to this material, this selection polygon. Make sure that you are doing this exactly priority. So this is all about selection. Nice. We don't need that. You can see it's in the selection. It tells you, okay, just give to that. You can right click. I think a reset part is there, or we have to delete that. No, just you have to delete to reset the selection. Okay. This is all about selection. The most important thing that here I want to explain it is the projection. You can see in a cube we don't have any UVC. We don't have any UV tag, but the material on the surface of the object because of the projection. This projection first is spherical. If you want to see the projection engine from here, you can activate the texture mode, you can see this is a projection. It means it's wrapping and projecting this flower based on this sphere or around the object. If you move the this projection engine, you can see you can move the texture. It's project the texture based on this sphere. For seeing the displacement, you can make it a simple, you can make it a grid, you can see it project that image based on this surface, or you can make it a solid. I make it to simple. You can see these greens are U and this red are V, U and V projection. This is an spherical projection. But if you want to project entire texture on just one surface, you can make it to cubic. Now you can see this is an cubic projection, and for example, this polygon is one engine projection as a project that texture in this direction, that texture in this direction, and you can see we don't have any continuity here. They are separated because this is a cubic. Or this is all about the projection. Or cylindrical, you can see it's a cylindrical, but we have such these things at the caps because it just project the texture based on this cylindrical shape to object. For example, if we have a spherical object, it's based on a spherical. By default, it is a UVW mapping. By default, it is UVW map, but you can see in this case it does not work because we don't have UVW map. Is when you create your UVs, but in this case we don't have any UV in our object, so you have to use a spherical. It's automatically defined for that. Or for example, flat or anything. Flat, it's a, if you want to use, for example, a decal on the object, you can use a flat. Now show you. It's a flat. You can see we have this engine, projection engine, and it's project in just in this direction. You can move it, and we have such a disarc effect because we don't have any object here to project on it. So it's a stretch in this direction, and it's project in both sides. But if you want to project just at one side, you can change the side here, just front. But if you want to see that, make sure that you have to render it. Render here. You can see. For seeing these effects, you have to render, or you can just see back of that effect, or both. You can change the side. Nice. This is a flat projection, cubic projection, frontal projection. It's you can see it's project the texture based on the camera. In the frontal projection and the camera mapping, you can see we have lots of other settings here that I have to explain. Projection, man, it's a different lesson in Cinema 4D. That's huge. You can mix your 2D and 3D images, mapping the images. It's very interesting. That I will give you a lesson in future. So spatial is another effect of the projection light flat, but it's something like this, shearing this, it's up and going to the down. Spatial, it's like flat. UVW, if you create a UVW and a shrink wrap. For example, a shrink wrap, it's good for in a spherical. Shrink wrap, you can see this is a spherical automatically. If you shrink wrap, it just shrink the object at the south pole of your spherical object, but other side of the texture are correct. This is a shrink wrap. So in this case, you can make it a spherical. Go spherical to spherical object, cylindrical to cylindrical object, flat object like this. And for example, you want to create a decal on this. We have a red color and we assign another texture on top of that. For creating a decal, just a sticker on that, you can go to the material. It's better to making the flat. This is a flat projection, you can see. And for doing that, let's talk about these tiles. You can offset your texture like this in U and V. This is an U and V. You can change length, strength, or compress it in any direction of the texture with the length. You can make it tileable. Because in PromeAI we create a seamless and tileable image, it's tiling. Let's tiling 5 times in any direction. You can see you can change the scale of your object with the tile. If you turn off the tiling, just now you can see your image here. That you can change the offset of that. Very simple. And now in this case, you can create a decal for your object on top of another object. Make sure that you're on top of the object. And of course, you can change it with this movement. And we can simply rotate you can use move, rotate, and scale on your project. For example, move it here. In this direction is not important, just the 2 direction. You can rotate the direction. For example, if you want to project nicely in this part, you can move it and rotate it. Now you can see it project in nice direction. Or you can scale it for making bigger and smaller, that you can changing here. For changing better offset UV length and tile, you can use these 3 tools. Make sure you are in a texture mode. If you go with the model mode, you cannot see your projection engine, just in texture mode. So you can rotate your flat object, frontal object, or create something like this. Don't forget to use move, scale, and rotation. So in this case, you can simply create a sticker or a decal on your objects. Let's talk about add material. For example, let's talk about the other material in this. Drag and drop it that, and drag and drop it here. Just make it at top of that. So if you select that and add material, you can see they are mixing the material together. If you go here and make it another color, you can see they are, if you add material, it's our blending material together if you want. Let's tile it the 5 times here. And because this texture is creating PromeAI and it's seamless, nice, you can make a tile, turn off. You can see the color at the material at the below of that. And you can see the texture here. Then you can change it, move it, change the projection to flat, for example. You can see it just projection in the wrong way. You can see it projecting in this way, and we don't have any geometry to project on. So in this case, you can rotate it in exactly in this angle with quantize, and now it's project correctly in your object. You can scale it if you want, and other things. So what was that? It's there. Okay. You can make it tile again, tiling up, or you can turn on seamless. You can turn on the seamless, and it's if you create not tileable image, and it's create a mirror on your tile and your object to avoid seeing the seams. But in this case, because our textures are correct, you don't need to use a seamless. In other textures, you have use UW map. For example, in this texture, we delete that. Okay. You can see it's completely gray out because we have to go to UVW mapping. The UVW map It's default projection. It means for better quality of image, you have to create a UV. You can see we are not working in UV and we're just changing our texture in Cinema 4D. In the old version of Cinema 4D, the projection of the bump map, if you go to your channel and create a bump map, it's always use a spherical projection for creating that. But in new versions, if you create your UV, it's use the UVW that you created before as a bump channel. Default, it's for better working and seeing the bumps. Okay, this is all about that. And in the next lessons, we are going to our UV editor to create a UVs with the projection. You can see the first icon and the tool that are active here is this. If you click on the gear, now you can see you can set UW. It means you can create your 3D UVs from the projection. Again, we have lots of projection here, but a different vehicle. And based on this projection that you learned before how to create a texture, with this projection now you can create a UV based on different object. That next lesson I will explain how to first create a UVs and then you can assign it. If you create a UV here, now you can make your projection UVW map. Don't forget that if you change the UVW map, you can create an object. But if you come here and select the object, you can see it's a shrink wrap, spherical. It's creating UV for you, but they are not actual UV here. Okay, they are not real and actual UVs here. For example, in the Bezier is a flat, cubic. You can see we don't have any actual. It's a flat. It means it just creates UV from here. I explained it before what is UV. Refer to previous lesson. But if you can see we don't have any UV tag. We are in UV editor. If you change the projection in material, you can see fake UV. Okay, they are correct UV, but they're not actual. If you export your object in another program, you cannot see your UV. So first you have to set your UV or unwrap your image. We are going to the next lesson, how to create UV and how to use all these tools. Waiting for that. Please don't forget to visit our TutorialCells apps channel. In this channel, we are introducing Android application and learn how to use them.